The hospital corridor was quiet, almost too quiet, bathed in the pale light of early morning. A man sat slumped in a plastic chair, his face a roadmap of exhaustion. In his arms, he rocked a tiny bundle wrapped in a thin, worn blanket, his newborn daughter. His eyes were red, not just from lack of sleep, but from the unshed tears of a man pushed to his limit. A nurse approached, her voice a gentle whisper. "Sir, visiting hours are over." He just nodded, pulling the baby a fraction closer, as if to shield her from the words, from the world. He had nowhere else to go. Just as he stood to leave, the elevator doors chimed open. A wave of sharp suits and clicking heels poured out. At the center was a man whose presence filled the hallway, a billionaire CEO, a titan of industry, his face etched with the steel of 1,000 boardrooms. He swept past with his entourage, a force of nature. But then he stopped. Something had caught his eye. Not the father's worn-out clothes or the desperation in his posture, but a tiny hand, impossibly small, clutching the man's finger with surprising strength. The world seemed to hold its breath. The CEO turned back, his entourage frozen in confusion. He stepped closer, his voice unexpectedly soft. "May I hold her?" The father flinched, a primal instinct to protect his only treasure. He looked at this powerful stranger, then down at his daughter. What else did he have to lose? He nodded slowly as the CEO took the baby into his arms. A remarkable change came over him. The hard lines of his face softened, the corporate armor melting away. For a moment, we see a flicker of the past, a ghost of a memory, a child's laughter that was silenced too soon. We see a man who had buried his own heartbreak under mountains of work and success, a man who had forgotten what it felt like to simply hold a life so new. He looked at the fragile infant in his arms, and in her, he saw a second chance. A passing nurse, noticing the unusual scene, quietly explained the father's situation. The baby needed specialized care he couldn't afford. He was on the verge of eviction, with no family to turn to, a single father against the world, armed with nothing but love. The CEO listened, his gaze never leaving the child. The weight of the world, it seemed, was not on the father's shoulders alone anymore. After a long moment, the CEO gently handed the baby back to her father. The encounter seemed over. But then, he did something no one expected. He took off his expensive, tailored jacket and carefully wrapped it around the baby, a shield of warmth and luxury against the cold hospital air. He turned to his lead assistant, his voice low but firm. "Cancel my meetings. All of them." What followed was a quiet storm of compassion. We see a blur of moments, a stack of medical bills, each stamped with the powerful red letters, "Paid." A set of new apartment keys being placed gently into the father's trembling hand. A job offer letter, not for a corner office, but for something far more valuably positioned with flexible hours, allowing him to be the father his daughter needed. True wealth wasn't just being spent, it was being invested in a human life. Weeks later, the sun streams through the leaves of trees in a beautiful park. The father, his face now relaxed and filled with hope, pushes a stroller. His daughter, healthy and cooing, looks up at the blue sky. From a distance, sitting on a bench, the CEO watches him. He doesn't approach. He doesn't need to. A genuine, peaceful smile spreads across his face. He wasn't just fixing a stranger's life. He was healing a part of his own. Because sometimes the greatest returns come from the investments we make in each other when no one is watching and no one has to ask. Thanks for watching. If this story touched you, please share it and subscribe for more.